What is up everyone, it is Tommy Magnus here and today I will cover the elections in Österreich, which have been a fairly big topic of late because, as you see, the two major parties in Austria, the centre parties there, completely collapsed in the presidential election, and in the end there was a big hoo-ha that the FPÖ, Freiheit, the Freedom Party, Freiheit Austria, Freiheitlich Party Österreichs, sorry for my German, Freedom Party Austria, their candidate Norbert Hofer was defeated by the Greens, the Grünen, the Green Party in Austria, a Green Alternative, by their candidate for president, Van der Bellen, Alexander Van der Bellen. This was only a very slight. He only just beat Norbert Hofer basically, and everyone was all worried, like, oh my god, a far-right party in Austria, oh my god, that's since the first time since World War II. They kept on bringing up this narrative on like the Sky News and all the mainstream news things here in Britain. We're all making this narrative like, ooh, Austria, far right, World War II, like, oh, this is the first far right person they've had since World War II, blah 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 blah, like, as president in government, whatever. But I think the position of president is largely it's more ceremonial. I don't think they have a great deal of power. I think the idea was, say Hofer won, he would call elections in 2 years to get the FPÖ more seats in the government, so then they could represent, maybe become chancellor. I don't know. I think chancellor is maybe the highest position in Austria. The Grünen, sorry, they won by Alexander Van der Bellen won by 31,000 votes. So it's a very narrow victory. Yeah, basically, and there's a lot of people like, oh well, thank God that they didn't have someone who wants to protect the Austrians from these foreign invaders, you know? Like, Austria, that's the thing, this is a reaction by the Austrian voters. It took in 90,000 asylum seekers last year, more than 1% of its population. 8.5 million people in Austria, and I believe they've already got a fairly large immigrant population, many of whom are Muslim, Turkish, from Middle East and other places. But obviously it's the number that was last year. It's only going to go up with it's not as much, obviously it's not as much or comparable to as many as Germany have taken in, but you think a lot of the migrants, a lot of the refugees all came through Austria. Some of them would have stopped there instead of going to Germany, and Frau Merkel, surely Austria will be absolutely furious at Angela Merkel for her open border policy, welcoming in about 1 million refugees, which it's with Austria being right neighbouring to Germany, they're gonna get a lot of that as well, and Germany are gonna try and force Austria to take in a lot of refugees. And this was a protest vote because the centre parties obviously weren't dealing with the problems. They've had a lot of problems with swimming pools and stuff, like rapes there. I think there was a kid who was like raped in a swimming pool and stuff. They've had there was one swimming pool where they had to ban refugees unless they had some like what was it, like a counselor or something with them to like keep an eye on them, because they're just like, I'm not saying they're all freaking out of control and all this absolute rapist, like that's all they can think about, like, but like there is a problem there and you've got to address it, and it's not Syrians. You look at how many are actually Syrians out of it, and are these people actually fleeing a war zone, or are these just Pakistanis, Afghanis, freaking North Africans coming, disguising, saying, oh well, I've lost my papers, I'm Syrian, so let me in, give me free things. So Noberhofer lost by 31,000 votes in the presidential, and you have a Green Party now president. So it was all a big nothing, but they've made it into this wider thing that the far right in Europe, I say far right because they're not necessarily far right just because they're anti-immigration, anti-Islam, a lot of them are right-wing populist boys, like say the UKIP, which sometimes UKIP they are for certain not far right. They're just like, but that's the thing. I don't know enough about these people. But there is a growing trend in Europe of a move towards far right parties, because obviously they're the only way to solve some of these problems. Like you have it in Sweden as well with the. I'm saying far right, but I don't know these parties are for definite far right. So you got the SVP in Switzerland, the Swiss People's Party, the Front National in France, who people are quite worried about, the Dansk Folk Party, the Danish People's Party, VB in Belgium, which links up Vlaams Belang, which is a Flemish nationalist kind of party. But that links on to another story this week of the Muslim girl who took selfies in front of anti-Islam protesters, who were peaceful protesters, I must say, and she got touted as a hero for taking selfies with these far right parties. And it actually came out that she had some very anti-Semitic tweets, which does not surprise me. People touted this woman as a fucking hero when all she did was take some pictures with some fucking guys who were like, oh, we don't like mosques, we don't want the Islamification of Belgium or Flanders specifically. And I actually quite like these guys. They seem quite reasonable party. Zikia Balkariki is her name, 22-year-old, I think she's Belgian born, and she's came out with an apology since then saying that, oh, that was many years ago, this was just because of hate of Zionism. But you see what she said, it was actually, Hitler didn't kill all the Jews, he left some, so he know why he was killing them, hashtag fuckers. Then she had wrote something on her Facebook, or commented on something, saying, fucking Jews, I have so much hatred against them, or towards them. People should check who they're like promoting, and you had fucking the biggest cuck of them all, Jeremy Corbyn, who I'm sad to say I ever had any hope for, but apparently if you want help from him and the Labour Party now, you have to be Muslim, gay, basically non-white, non-male. They don't give a fuck about you anymore. He even promoted this girl, saying, what a hero, like standing up against these. But you see in the video, these people aren't being like, fuck off, they're not like saying anything racist to this girl or anything. They're having a peaceful protest against Islam and the negative aspects of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. You should be allowed to protest against it. Where she makes herself out as a fucking hero And you look at her, and she says she's not an anti-Semite since then, but like, honest to God, there's a difference between being anti-Zionism and being an anti-Semite, anti-Jewish, which her comments saying that Hitler didn't kill all the Jews and that he should have killed them all or whatever, or that he left some of them and he should have killed them or whatever she was trying to say. And she literally said she hates fucking Jews. So, honest to God, like, this doesn't surprise me that a Muslim has said these things. And it's not the first time we had the people in the Labour Party had similar tweets, be praising someone for doing nothing. And especially when it's a minority or a Muslim or whatever, people love to find someone like that who's, I don't know, so great. It's like, ooh, they don't support ISIS, fucking give them a medal. Oh, it's standing up to these racists, these bigots, these far-right people. And it's like, I don't think these people are racist, they're anti-Islam. They point out the negative aspects of Islam, which there are many, and you should be able to criticize religions without saying, oh, all Muslims, I hate all Muslims, they should all die, they should all be killed, whatever. That's not alright, but saying stop Islam, no headscarves, ban the burqa and stuff's fine. Like, literally, they should be closing more mosques than building more. Especially if you find out that they are funded by any Gulf states, especially Saudi Arabia. And that's just going to be where they promote Wahhabism, extreme form of Islam, that promotes terrorism and groups like ISIS and stuff. Fuck political correctness. Peace out, Tommy Magnus. More videos coming at you.